morning. It's a long time since I did a vlog, at least a week, so I thought it's time I did another one. So today I'm going to an installation at Barnsley Temple. It's the installation of St Barnabas No. 234 Lodge. And the temple at Barnsley is a really special place to most of us in Yorkshire. We kind of consider it our temple, although it isn't really. It belongs to St Barnabas Lodge, but several of the lodges hold their installations there, and it's a lovely big space, and it's really nice to go and be able to fit everyone in. There are no restrictions on numbers because it's quite a big place. It used to be an old church, and it was converted into as a Masonic temple. Don't really know an awful lot about the history, but I'll ask a few questions while I'm there today, and perhaps I'll be able to tell you later. So I'll see you there. Bye. Hello again. So it's now Thursday, and I visited St Barnabas last Sunday, but I've delayed putting out the vlog because I wanted to tell you a little bit about the history of the temple. And I've been given a little booklet with loads and loads of information, which is really interesting, but too much to talk about here. So I'm just going to give you a few of the major points about St Barnabas Temple, and then I'm going to publish an article in the Gavel with the full history, because it's a fascinating look at social history as well as the history of Barnsley Temple. So originally on the site it was a building known locally as the Tin Tabernacle. So it was a corrugated iron structure which was a Methodist chapel. There was a big resurgence in the 1880s around the area after John Wesley came to preach in Barnsley. And eventually it became a brick-built building, which is mainly the building that we know now, in the late 1880s. But fast forward to the early 70s, and it was closed by the diocese due to dwindling congregations and costs, etc. And that happened to be just about the time that St Barnabas Lodge were looking for a premises of their own. They were meeting in hotels and places that weren't suitable, lugging equipment about and having to store it and so on. So after many meetings and digging around for finances and pros and cons, etc., they purchased the building. And at first, the meetings and social events were just held in the temple, what we know as the temple now. And can you believe this, brethren? There was a bar in the east was hidden by a curtain, but nevertheless there was a bar in the east. And what we know as the dining room now was there, but it was in a state of disrepair. It was inhabited by pigeons, and it needed a lot of work and a lot of money spent on it. So St Barnabas Lodge wanted to have the temple consecrated, and the then Grand Master, Frances Hall, said that she would love to consecrate the building, but the bar couldn't stay in the east. So they had to scrape the money together to get the dining room in order and move the bar into there. And eventually it was consecrated in April 1982 by the Grand Master, the then Grand Master Frances Hall. And since then, the Brethren of St Barnabas have worked tirelessly. They've paid off all the debts, but it costs a lot of money to keep the building in a good state of repair and keep it heated. So when you're the master of St Barnabas, you don't raise money for an outside charity. You work really, really hard for money for the building. And the Yorkshire Lodges as well contribute as and when they can. One or two of the Yorkshire Lodges, about 4 I think, hold their installations at Barnsley, and many of the higher degrees meet there as well. The Brethren of Barnsley nearly always hold a raffle at the Yorkshire installations to raise funds there as well. So look out in the Gavel. It probably won't be the next issue, but maybe the one after. And I will put an article in there with more details about the history. It's a fabulous place. It's a real jewel in the Yorkshire Crown, and we see it very fondly. So you'll see us there again, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. Now then, I've got a really good idea for a series of vlogs, but I'm going to keep you waiting. I'm not going to tell you about it yet, so look out for those. Okay, bye.